the transition of the player in multiplayer games. Our thesis is players change into different player types as the game progresses when their needs are not fulfilled. As a heads up, we are basing our presentation regarding player types on Bernard Suitz's example. Players don't just transition between player types for no reason. There are needs derived from self-interest and involvement, and when there's an unfulfillment of one or more of these needs, then there is a motivation for transitioning. Some examples include the need to have a chance of winning, the need to feel superior, and the need for more fun and excitement.
For players, a chance of winning drives them forward to compete with other players and remain involved in the game. However, when that chance decreases, when the goals set up by the game seem unachievable, players will make their own goals that they can realistically achieve, or turn to outside the rules of the game in order to win. In a nutshell, players turn into triflers or cheaters when their chance to win diminishes. This is most applicable to games centered on snowball effects, such as Monopoly or Civilization. A snowball effect is when strong players can easily get to stronger positions to the point where they are basically unstoppable. Examples of things players turned triflers may do when they fall behind is roleplay in the game a little. In Monopoly, that would be monopolizing the worst properties, becoming a slumlord of sorts and making life a little more annoying for the other players. And in Civilization, a player may choose to become a vassal to a more superior player, still having little chance of winning but still in their own view remaining involved in the game. If a player feels frustrated enough, however, they may turn to methods outside the rules of the game in order to keep winning. Cheaters may take more money from a bank in physical Monopoly games, or give themselves resources through commands in Civilization. Monopoly and Civilizations are games where the enjoyment comes in taking down other players' in-game empires, or monopolies, obviously, in Monopoly. But looking at it from a losing player's perspective, it's easy to see why these games can feel frustrating at times. After all, what's the point of playing if you can't win?
Player also has the need to feel superior to other players in a multiplayer game, whether it is directly competitive like CSGO or indirectly competitive like MapleStory. CSGO is directly competitive in the way that you're trying to defeat your enemy team to show that you're superior to them in skills, whereas MapleStory is indirectly competitive in the way that you're trying to get better equipment and level up your characters so that you can defeat stronger monsters. The failure to fulfill their need to feel superior results in wall hacks and auto-aim in CSGO and cheat engines in MapleStory to help them grind faster. In this case, people would become cheaters from normal players, but there's also the case where a player might have super powerful friends that can carry, and in this case, the player might become a trifler because they don't need to do much in order to defeat a boss or to defeat their opponent team.
Lastly, we have the need for more fun and excitement. Games must impact a person in order for them to become immersed in the world and become a player. This can be done through character design, user experience, user interface, sound effects, the story, etc. Fun and excitement gives the player a rush of emotions, which gives them a reason to continue playing a game. The example we have for this is GTA Online. And we chose this game because the ability to become a mobster and form a game with your friends gives people a chance to experience a life they could never be a part of in the real world. Once the game doesn't meet their expectations, the player shifts into a trifler or a spoil sport because they lost a reason to play the game. It becomes more of a burden than a form of entertainment. Triflers will try to find something interesting in the game to keep playing, while spoil sports will turn to modding to make the game into something they would enjoy more.
These are 3 needs of many that we have decided to explore further upon in relation to how the player responds and adapts to changes in gameplay. We also have single-player and simulation games as honorable mentions. The need system is also applicable to these 2 genres, but due to the complexity of the relationships and time limit of this presentation, we have decided to only focus on multiplayer games. In summary, players change into different player types as the game progresses when their needs are not fulfilled. 3 examples of these needs include the need for a chance of winning, need for superiority, and the need for fun and excitement. Below the needs listed are a few examples of what the player could become when a need is unfulfilled. There are more than 3 needs that exist. and these needs are also applicable to single-player and simulation games.
Here's our Works Cited page. Thank you for your attention.